Hello Tubesters, Gav's back again with a third video in 3 days. I apologise, I'm not throwing them out particularly on purpose. It was just that I'm painting my Focke-Wulf 190 1/72 scale Eduard Profi Pack tomorrow. Keeps getting put off. Just it's like everything. It's trying to fit different things that I do, you know, in some type of order. But obviously, I've said to you guys, I play people's videos on in the background all day. Literally, I'm here. Apart from taking my Pop Archie out, this is where I live, more or less. Even the evenings, I'm here. So I'm either doing commission painting wargame figures, historicals, or I'm painting like the bust that I'm painting at the moment, the Battle of Britain fighter pilot, or I'm building my scale models. And so I've always got your videos on in the background. I've always said I prefer the longer ones only because I'm not continuously having to, right, you might have to move adverts, click adverts or whatever, but you know, the longer ones are better for me just because I'm here all the time. I don't, apart from catching up on the news, I don't watch television. I just get on in little Gav's world. The wife filters in and out when she can, but that's how I, obviously with my mental health problems, that's how I exist. Anyway, I said to you, I subscribed to a channel called the Really Useful Modelling Channel, or the Useful Model Company, something like that. Go check. Well, I've done 3 videos, but third, fourth video back, I don't know. It's on there. It's a couple of guys that a lot of the hardcore modelers will already know of. I can't even remember half the names now, but you know, I know Spencer Pollard because I know he writes his books and was in the model magazines and things like that. And Jonathan Mock does the decals and that for Airfix and other things and magazine articles and that. But I said to you before, they had a lady called Jenifer Wright, I believe, on, and I just accidentally found her channel. She started a channel more or less when she did this. Last year they did, I think it was November time, obviously for Telford, didn't happen obviously, and I very much doubt it's going to happen this year. But they did a Telford on their channel type of thing, and obviously they know Jenifer. She's a serving member of the Royal Air Force, but she makes models, I believe, for magazines and things like that, and she's hugely talented. And she was doing a 1/48 scale P40. Was it the Warhawk or the Kitty Hawk? I'm not sure which one she was doing, but it was I think the Royal Australian Air Force, but in bare metal finish. And she was saying, in her opinion, although obviously modern aluminium paints are very good, they still don't look exactly, when you put a metal. She'd foiled a wing on this P40 Warhawk with kitchen foil, and I can't remember now for the life of me. It was an American brand she got when she'd visited it when she was in Afghanistan. I believe she works on Hercules and different things like that. When she was in Afghanistan, she bought this particular foil because it's heavy duty. It's in an American PX, and she said like UK foil isn't as thick. And I must admit, there were a couple of grades, but they probably aren't. And she was doing, anyway. She'd done this bare metal foil on it, and I was absolutely intrigued. I just loved every minute of it. I played it back twice just to try and get it to sink in. And again, it's probably something that's way above my early learning station, but I've got to have a go. And I thought, what can I possibly, you know, have I got anything? Well, I've hardly got any aircraft. I've got 2 aircraft still in my stash. Obviously the Focke-Wulf won't count because it's behind, well, it's in front of me there, just waiting to paint. I've got a 1/40. You all know the Starfighter is probably my favourite jet of all time, and there were some metal finishes in that, although I've got the G version and I want to do it as an Italian one. It's a second-hand kit. And although it's a Italeri, it's a Hasegawa kit that's been reboxed, and it hasn't got any decals and things like that. So I didn't want to use that anyway. But I have got Ian Aitken, one of the marrows of this channel, who's got his own Ian Aitken's channel, as you know, he'd messaged me and said, "Oh, Gav, Dave Coley's Emporium." On the box here, Dave Coley's Emporium selling 1 in 48 kits off for a tenner. He's calling them pocket money kits. You might want to go and have a look. And I thought, yeah, you know, this is heresy. I'm not a huge Spitfire fan. I prefer the Hurricane over the Spitfire. But even then, the 109, the Spitfire and that then don't really do a massive amount for me. And I was looking at the time to do a bare metal jet. Anyway, I saw this. I did show it briefly on a stash, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. It was a tenner, and he's probably still got different kits of these. They're all ICM kits. I will give you a show and tell. I've done a whole video on this, and it didn't work, so I scrapped it. But I'm going to try and do Jenifer's techniques on this Mustang. I mean, it's cost me a tenner, so she was also saying on when she did the Telford Day Online, I suppose you call it. I can't remember what they called it now, but she showed the filling the seams, well, not so much seams, but filling whatever gaps you've got with the super glue and the talcum powder. So I'm going to have a go on this one as well, because I've got a feeling this might have some gaps. So after all that, and I'll leave a link to her channel, which is Jenisis Designs And ModelCraft, I believe. She's already shooting through I think she's only been going about 6 months, but she's shot through the I think she's got about 1,600 subs, you know, because she is hugely talented. And I just thought, you know what's it going to cost me apart from time? You know, you've got to learn. So yeah, I'll probably, when I screw it all up, there's going to be usual Gav with his long face, I've screwed another model up. But if you got to just keep going. You just keep, you know, it's like these people that try and get to top of Everest or whatever. You keep going until you get there, don't you? So, yeah. We'll have a quick look at this just to show you what's in the box. It's a tenner's worth. If I'd have paid 20 plus for it, I wouldn't have been that happy. There's a fair bit of flash in that and a couple of other bits I'll show you, but you never know, it still might go together well. And even if it doesn't, I've got a mule for trying this foil. But I would like to actually do the entire kit and foil it. You never know what can possibly go wrong. So join me down at the bench. We'll just have a quick look of the kit, just if you're interested. By the way, this is what I haven't got. This American foil, she's done some follow-up videos. I mean, they're all about 6 months old. I've just found the channel by accident. And she said she'd gone online. You can get the American foil, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. But it's like £15 a roll from Amazon and that, and it is a fair amount of money for a roll of foil. So I'm going to try this. I mean, Sainsbury's, they say extra strong foil. Yeah, I think it probably, because she did a sound test on hers, but the stuff she was crinkling around seemed thinner than this stuff. Because I crinkled at the same time. We was all having a little crinkle of our foil. Shows I haven't got anything else to do, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm going to try that foil. I sent off, when I saw her video back on that Festival of Scale Modelling, it might be, she said she uses this micro metal foil adhesive from Microscale Industries. So I've got that came through today. So I've got the time. I've got my fairly cheap model kit, well, £10, you can't get much cheaper. Yeah, you know, I've got the cotton buds to do the rubbing down. I've got the IPA alcohol. Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. So let's go down at the bench, have a quick look at this kit, and I won't be more rambling up front of camera now than there will be on the kit. But let's just have a quick look. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. Let's see if we can get that background out. Sorry for the squeaky chair. Right, this really is just a quick look at the sprues. The plastic is quite, I I don't know, not brittle, it has that crispy type sound to it. I don't know really anything about the Mustang, so I'm not going to point out rivet details and things like that because I really don't have a Scooby. But as I'm going to be foiling this, it'll be interesting to see how I can get the rivet. According to Jenifer, you can usually get your detail to come through the actual foil, so that should be handy. Different types of propeller blades, by the way. There's another. Let's just get these out of the way. We've got these ones rounded, these ones square. We do have a pilot figure. To be honest with you, I think that's quite a nice figure. Quite like that. So I will have a pilot in my plane, which is quite unusual these days. We've got drop tanks. You do have weight on wheels. I did wonder if the weight on wheels looks slightly a bit too weight on. They look slightly flat, but again, what do I know? Our exhausts. Could I possibly drill? I mean, I only did that Sea Fury, which got as far as to get painted and deckled and got thrown in the bin. That wasn't worth showing. It was a right mess up. So might be able to drill those out, those exhausts. Now, what you do get, like on the props here, is there is a lot of flash on this kit, which it's flash. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a lot to deal with. It doesn't particularly bother me that much. Only if it's on really small parts that might break. I mean, we've got flash all over these. There's one part, because I have looked at this before a couple of months ago when I bought it. But again, that'll be for the side of our cockpit, I'd imagine. But there's a fair bit of detail there. Seat, not a lot, but you know, you've got it there. But if you're going to stick a pilot in, which I'm going to, that's not too much of a problem. That battery there. So I mean, we've got a fair bit of detail in that. The only thing that, as I say, that really lets this kit down is the amount of flash on it. And there is one bit which I might ask for advice on in a minute, if I can find it. See, again, we've got, if you see the flash around the inside of the wheel wells there. And we've got a whole chunk round here, but again, you know, that's going to be easily removable. I don't know much about ICM kits in the sense of, I know they do a lot of detailed armour stuff, but again, we're talking a tenner. You know, I mean, what do you expect? You know, as we say over here, what do you want jam on it? There seems to be a bit of sink. I don't know would you call them sink marks? It'd be interesting if I can get the foil to work. If they get covered up or if they show through, it'd be interesting to know. Oh, that was the bit there. I'm just wondering whether I can actually put a hairdryer on it, maybe, and soften it up enough, because it's obviously pulled up at the end there. I'm just wondering if I try and push that down too much, I'm just going to snap it off completely. But that was the only major defect, apart from flash everywhere, that I could see. And yes, you could say obviously these could look like sink marks coming through, which where they've been pushed out the moulds, I take it quite hard. But no, that's going to be the project, guys. One of many. Oh, clear parts. I'm not going to get them out of the bag. They look a bit. I can't work out. Is that plastic? No, I've got a feeling those canopies might be scuffed, but it could be the plastic. Oh no, it might be the plastic. But you can. And there's our instrument panel. I keep calling them consoles for some reason. Again, I mean, it's a fairly simple aircraft to put together. We've got a sprue map, bit of a guide there for your cockpit and your pilot. Sorry, I haven't got the overhead camera on this. It really was just a quick show and tell, just to say what. That's that. You get two options. Now the first one, I don't know if this is a Far East theatre, both planes, because you get, turn it around, go for one hand. We get sunshine here, which with its bands. Now that is Shima, July 45. I take it that's Japan, Shima. And you get, now I've put me off that a bit because one, I wanted to show all metal anyway, and two, my spraying skills for that type of thing is non-existent because they're not included as decals. You've got to spray them on, which you've got to learn, as I say. But this is the one I fancy doing anyway. But it says Major Kit Carson, and it's Christmas Day 44. Now they're just little crosses on there, as in just like X's. In fact, I'll show you them on the decals. The decals, again, I'm no expert, so they're glossy. They look alright to me. But you know me, I don't do enough to be able to say one way or the other. But they're the little crosses there for kill markings, I take it. So I don't know if Christmas Day, I'm going to have to put the serial numbers and see what comes up, because I'm not sure if that is for the Far East or for the European theatre, because you've got the rising sun kill markings there for the Far East, but to say that one, you've got these, and I don't know if that's for the European theatre or not. We shall see. Hopefully I'll get back to you on some information like that. Now I have actually got another aircraft. I was silly enough to go on Hannants. Now the one thing I like about Hannants is they actually they're all over the place with the website's a nightmare. It always has been. But when you go to the catalogue, press catalogue, and then you go down and obviously put your what do you want, 1 in 72 aircraft, and I put 1 into 72 in just to see what they got, and it's great because it just gives you ideas. You know, you just there's reams and reams and reams of aircraft if you're looking for aircraft. And I've got one coming. It's only a cheap one. It's 1 in 72 scale. I won't shout about it now. It's coming tomorrow, I've been told, and I'll probably have that up in the week as an unboxing. But this one, as I say, this oops, sorry, show you something while I'm just blabbing here. This one is going to be a project. You know, it'll be rough and ready because it's me doing it, and you know, loads of things can go wrong as usual. It's me doing it, but it'll be interesting. I've got to watch the rest of Jenifer's video because I don't know how well this stuff, if you obviously putting the gloss varnish on real metal for all the different stencils and the decals there is going to be interesting. But yeah, I'll leave the link to that. I'll just do the link to her channel. She hasn't got that many videos on yet, probably, I don't know, 8, 10, I don't know. And it's the very first one she did. So if you go and check the bare metal foil out. It's a really, she's got about 3 videos up. The one she did originally on the cast, the live cast, which, like she said, the broadband wasn't up to it, and she's done 2 further ones. One showing you how to do it again, and another one on a wrap up on what she's done, what things she thinks is right and wrong. She shows you a couple of other aircraft she's done for magazines and stuff like that, which gave her the idea to do more bare metal. So you know, if you've got the time, go check that out, because she does a fantastic job, and she's got other builds on there as well. So right, guys, sorry for 3 videos in 3 days. As I say, this one, I just watched her video there and I thought, this is something I'll probably get into over the weekend. Obviously, I'm not going to get anywhere near foiling the aircraft, but I'll hopefully put the majority of it together over the weekend. And I just wanted to get a video off just explaining why I'm doing it and what gave me the inspiration to do it and all that good stuff. So look after yourselves, guys. I hope everything goes well with you, whether you are building model kits or painting figures, both of which I absolutely love. So look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other very, very, very soon, hopefully not too soon, on another video.